Dabang 3 is a 2019 Indian Hindi language action comedy film directed by Prabhu Deva and co-produced by Salman Khan and Arbaz Khan under their respective banners of Salman Khan Films and Arbaz Khan Productions. The film serves as a prequel to the 2010 film Dabang and 2012 film Dabang 2 and is the third installment of the Dabang film series. The screenplay of the film is written by Salman Khan, Prabhu Deva and Alok Upadhyay. The story, written by Salman Khan, is set in the state of Madhya Pradesh. The film features Salman Khan, Sonakshi Sinha, and Arbaz Khan, reprising their roles from the previous film, along with Sudeep as the antagonist and Sai Manjarekar in her Bollywood debut. Set after the events of Dabang 2, the film showcases Chulbul Pandey's origin as a police officer. After his encounter with an old rival named Bali, Singh refreshes his memory, along with dubbed versions in Kannada, Tamil, and Telugu languages. The film was theatrically released in India on 20 December 2019. It opened to mixed reviews from critics who praised Khan and Sudeep's performances, while others found it formulaic and weaker as compared to the prequels. At the box office, the film's collections were further affected by the CAA protests, making it the second lowest grossing film in the franchise. Starting off again with a heroic antic, the story moves ahead for Dabang 2 with the corrupt yet much loved cop ASP Chulbul Pandey, Salman Khan, preventing a robbery at a wedding and beating the goons and their leaders, Gullu, Black and Blue. Gullu then agrees to return to his former part-time job as a wedding band trumpeter, and Chulbul is seen dealing with the everyday lives of his wife Rajjo, Sonakshi Sinha, brother Makhanchand Makhi Pandey, Arbaz Khan, also a police officer, and his son, while his father Prajapati Pandey, Pramod Khanna, stays at home with Rajjo. Makhi appears to be enjoying a lavish lifestyle most of the times. One fateful day, a despaired girl, probably injured, arrives in a hurry at Makhi's station after escaping from somewhere and seeks help Makhi, expecting to punish her captors, who tried to sell her and other girls off, is joined by Chulbul, and after a scuffle the brothers arrest Chinti Walia, Dolly Bindra, who runs a prostitution racket. While trying to force a confession out of Chinti at the police station, Chulbul intercepts a lawyer and some goons who have come over to have Chinti released but he tears off the court order, and in desperation, the leader of the goons keeps his video call going on, even as Chulbul smiles into the screen. Minutes later, the leader shows the video call to Bali Singh, Sudeep, who sees Chulbul, who in turns look back into the phone camera to see Bali. Shocked beyond words, he reminisces his younger days, recalling his fate with Bali. Years ago, when he was still young, Chulbul, whose real name turns out to be Dhadak Chand Pandey, fell in love with a girl, Khushi Sai Manjrekar, who was initially being considered as a potential bride for Makhi after he noticed a photo of her in Makhi's hand and told his mother, Naini Devi Dimple Kapadia, that he would be a good fit instead of Makhi. A few days later, Khushi's maternal uncle Prabhat and maternal aunt Janki Medha Manjrekar agreed to the match between Dhakad and Khushi, and the two began courting each other. At the same time, Bali, a ruthless and violent goon, set his eyes on Khushi and began making arrangements for his marriages with her. However, the moment he saw Dhakad with Khushi, he decided to kill Khushi and her family right in front of Dhakad's eyes. After luring him to the spot, Prabhat and Janki were both killed, and Khushi was thrown off a cliff to die. Consequently, both Khushi's uncle Harya Mahesh Manjrekar and his daughter Rajo, revealed to be Khushi's friend, were deeply affected. Harya took to alcoholism while Dhakad, who was framed by Bali and spent much time in prison for the deaths, was taken in by Commissioner Singh Sharat Saxena after saving him from attackers and transformed into an uptight cop, naming himself Chulbul in Khushi's memory, forming the events of Dabang. At present, Chulbul, having relayed this entire episode to Prajapati and Rajo, decides that he has had enough and he needs to close the chapter once and for good. Meanwhile, an ill-attracted Makhi is misled by Bali into turning against Chulbul nearly so as to slap him after he too is promoted to the rank of ASP. The action causes him to be banished from home by Prajapati, and he joins hands with Bali actively. Bali, who is set to become an politician and a minister in the upcoming election, plans to bring in a truck filled with loads of money, and thus gets Makhi and many other policemen in his circle transferred to one common location in order to facilitate the transportation. Chulbul, however, intercepts the truck and turns Bali's moles in the police force against Bali himself. As revenge, Bali gets several of Chulbul's associates kidnapped and brutally beaten to near death, until Chulbul breaks in again and frees them all, even when Bali has run away with Makhi and some reliable accomplices seeking to lure Bali into counterproductive action. Chulbul kidnaps Minister S.S. Sharma and his brother-in-law by staging a ploy with Gulu's help, and forces a confession out of them, which is made viral. Bali notices the same, and Makhi helps him track them down, since he recognizes the hideout. Upon arriving there, Bali kills Sharma and injures his brother-in-law. In retaliation, he sends wrestlers to attack Rajjo and her son, but Chulbul arrives in time to save the two. Some time later, Chulbul receives a call from Prajapati, who tells him that Rajjo hasn't arrived home. Sensing Bali's hand in the matter, he invades a quarry where Bali has held Rajjo, and surprisingly Makhi himself as hostages. Makhi was always on Chulbul's side, and it was a game by the brothers to increase Bali. After an intense confrontation, Chulbul kills Bali. In 2013, it was reported that Dabang 3 will be a prequel. In 2014, during the promotion of his production Doli Ki Doli, director of the series Arbaz Khan confirmed that Dabang 3 will indeed happen and that the pre-production of it will start soon. He added, "It has to be an out-of-the-box idea. Only then we can think of making it into a film. May take 1 or 2 years to shape up as it was postponed due to Sultan. After much speculation, it is confirmed in August 2016 that Sonakshi Sinha will be part of Dabang 3 and another actress might join her. Later in that month, it was reported that Kajol was offered the role of an antagonist, but she refused to play it, as she told the media that her role was not as strong as that of Salman. In October 2017, it was reported that the writers had started scripting the film and it would go on floors by the mid 2018. In the following month, it was confirmed by Arbaz Khan that Prabhu Deva would direct the film and he will look after the creative control. As of March 2018, Deva confirmed that he will direct the film and Salman Khan, Sonakshi Sinha and Arbaz Khan will be portray their earlier respective character. Sajid Wajid will again compose for the film soundtrack. On 31 March 2019, Salman and Arbaz arrived in Indore to being shooting for Dabang 3 from 1 April. On 31st March 2019, Salman and Arbaz arrived in Indore. Part of the shooting take place in Maheshwar near to Indore, to being shooting for Dabang 3 from 1 April. The film's music is composed by Sajid Wajid, while lyrics are written by Jalis Sherwani, Danish Sabri, Sameer Anjan, Sajid Khan, and Irfan Kamal. Salman Khan revealed first posters of Dabang 3 with film release date on 26 April 2019. Before some months of filming, Dabang 3 was said to be slated for release on May 22, 2020, coinciding with Eid-ul-Fitr, but when it was announced that Insha'Allah another film starring Khan was scrapped, the release date of Dabang 3 was advanced to 20 December 2019, coinciding with Christmas. On 11 September 2019, with 100 days remaining to release of the film, motion posters were released in 4 languages: Hindi, Kannada, Tamil, and Telugu. A 52 seconds introduction teaser was released by Salman Khan Films on 1st October 2019. The trailer was released on 23 October 2019 by Salman Khan Films on its YouTube channel. The film was theatrically released in India on 20 December 2019, along with dubbed version in Kannada, Tamil, and Telugu languages. Dabang 3 opening day domestic collection was rupees 24.50 crore. On the second day, the film collected rupees 23.75 crore. On third day, the film collected rupees 30.50 crore, taking the total opening weekend collection to rupees 78.75 crore as of 19th January 2020, with a gross of rupees 173.94 crore in India and rupees 56.99 crore overseas. The film has a worldwide gross collection of rupees 230.93 crore and has become the ninth highest grossing Bollywood film of 2019. Dabang 2 is a 2012 Indian Hindi language action comedy film co-produced with Malika Arora and directed by Arbaz Khan in his directorial debut. Its story It's set in Kanpur and written by Dilip Shukla. Dabang 2 serves as a sequel to the 2010 film Dabang and is the second part in the highly successful Dabang franchise. The development of Dabang 2 commenced after the release of Dabang. Abhinav Kashyap, who directed Dabang, refused to direct the film citing unknown reason. Following this, Arbaz Khan decided to make his directorial debut, invested at rupees 700 million, 9.8 million US dollar. Filming for Dabang 2 began on 9 March 2012 in Mumbai. Dabang 2 theatrically released in India on 21 December 2012 during the Christmas festival. It earned rupees 583 million, 8.2 million US dollar net in India, with 3 days of its release to break the record of Ek Tha Tiger, another film featuring Salman Khan. Dabang 2 grossed over rupees 2.52 billion, 35 billion US dollars at the worldwide box office, becoming the second highest grossing Bollywood film of 2012 behind Ek Tha Tiger and one of the highest grossing Indian films of all time. The film accumulated rupees 1.55 billion, 22 million US dollar net and was termed a blockbuster by Box Office India. The third film in the franchise, Dabang 3, was released in Dabang 2000 in December 2019. The story carries on from the previous film. Inspector Chulbul Pandey, Salman Khan, in charge of a local police station in Kanpur, and resides there with his wife Rajo, Sonakshi Sinha. Half-brother Makhi Arbaz Khan and stepfather Vinod Khanna. A boy gets kidnapped from a school. Therefore, Chulbul deals with the problem. In Kanpur, an assassin murders a witness who is about to testify against a dreaded Don. Chulbul tracks the assassin down, killing him at a coffee house. The Don is Thakur Bachcha Singh Prakash Raj, a struggling politician. After several public altercations, Bachcha's brother Genda Deepak Dobriyal convinces him to get rid of Pandey, threatening Chulbul's stepfather to kill his entire family if Chulbul keeps on interfering in Bachcha's criminal activities. Genda harasses a girl arriving at her wedding to kidnap her. Chulbul arrives at the wedding and asks Genda to leave. Genda refuses to comply, with continues to insult Chulbul. Chulbul breaks his neck, leading to his death. In the meantime, his wife becomes pregnant. Pandey being advised by everybody to leave Bachcha alone for the sake of his family's safety. Bachcha, promising to avenge his brother's death, decides to do so before the election. He meets Rajo and Makhi while they are leaving a temple where Makhi is shot by Bachcha and Rajo is pushed off the temple stairs. However, both of them survive with Rajo having a miscarriage and suffering a head injury. Chulbul is enraged at the loss of his first child. He enters Bachcha's location and kills all of his men. He fights him and gets him arrested. But when Bachcha tries to threaten him, he kills him instantly by grabbing a gun and shooting him with two bullets in the chest. Later, Chulbul and Rajo have their first child, a baby boy, right at the end. Shady Singh's photographer from the first film, Dabang, arrives asking for a family photo. They all laugh and the photographer takes the picture. When director Abhinav Kashyap opted out of directing the sequel, Arbaz Khan himself decided to help the film. Prakash Raj was confirmed to have been chosen to play the main villain. Kareena Kapoor has been roped in to play an item number in the film, despite initial reports considering Katrina Kaif for the role. In Feb 2012, it was reported that distribution rights were sold to UTV Motion Pictures for a price of Rs 1.40 billion, the highest for a Bollywood film till date. But later UTV Motion Pictures reported the news as completely fake and nonsense. UTV Motion Pictures has brushed aside rumors of purchasing the rights of the sequel to the Salman Khan Sonakshi Sinha starrer Dabang 2 for Rs 1.40 billion. The national emblem framed one on the wall of Chulbul Pandey's police station was depicted incorrectly, sensitive to the slightest abnormality pertaining to national sentiments. The Central Board of Film Certification (CBFC) has asked producer-director Arbaz Khan to simply blur the corner of the film's frames where the national emblem appears. Shooting for the film began in March 2012. The producers announced plans to shoot the film in Kanpur. A set depicting the city of Kanpur was created at the Kablistan Studios in Mumbai, where the first schedule of the film was shot. The entire studio was rented for the film, making it a first in Bollywood. The phase consisted of shooting a Qawwali song under neon lights. Following the shoot, filming is expected to take place in Film City in Mumbai. The last schedule has been planned to be shot at Satara 3 days after the film went on floors. It was reported that Salman Khan replaced cinematographer K.K. Senthil Kumar with Asim Kumar. A song titled Fevicol Se was choreographed as a dance number and considered as an equivalent to Munni Badnaam Hui from prequel reports indicating that Salman would essay an important involvement in the director's role were dismissed by Arbaz. Dabang 2 was produced on a budget of rupees 560 million. 170 million rupees were spent on marketing costs of the film. The songs are composed by Sajid Wajid, while the lyrics were penned by Jalis Sherwani, Irfan, Kamal, and Sameer. The film score is composed by Sandeep Sirodkar. The full soundtrack album was released on 9 November 2012. Pandeyji Sethi appears to be inspired by the song Chalat Musafir from the film Tisri Kasam 1966, which in turn was inspired by a Bihari folk song and added little sample of previous song Munni Badnaam Hui, which the song Pandeji Sethi became sequel of this song. In turn, Pandeji Sethi itself appears to have inspired the song Badri Ki Dulhania. In the film Badri Ki Dulhania 2017, the song Fevicol Se, which showed Kareena Kapoor, sung by same singer Mamta Sharma. This first look of the film was unveiled on 19 October 2012 and theatrical trailer was launched on 20 October 2012 at Salman Khan's reality show Big Boss 6. Chulbul Pandey, Khan's character in Dabang 2, appeared in Star Plus soap Diya Aur Bati Hum to promote the film. It aired on 12 and 13 December 2012. Salman and Sonakshi promoted the film on the sets of Sa Re Ga Ma Pa. Dabang 2 was screened at the Ketnav Theatre in Khar, a western Mumbai suburb, on 17 December 2012. A Dabang 2 special screening was done for the Star Kids on 19 December 2012. Another premiere was held on 20 December 2012, in which Amir Khan also attended. Dabang 2 released in 3,500 screens in India and 450 screens overseas on 21 December 2012. The film was made on a budget of rupees 650 million, 9.1 million US dollar, including prints and advertising. The figure does not include Salman Khan's fee, which can go as high as the budget of the film itself. Dabang 2 had the highest screen count for any film in India and worldwide, surpassing that of Ek Tha Tiger. The trailers for Kai Po Che and Bhag Milka Bhag were released with Dabang 2. Chief Judicial Magistrate (CJM) Muzaffarpur has ordered to lodge an FIR against 7 artists of Dabang 2, including Salman Khan, Arbaz Khan, Kareena Kapoor, Sonakshi Sinha, and others under Section 156, Clause 3 of the CRPC and submit a report within a week in connection with a complaint filed against a song Favicol in Hindi movie Dabang 2. The complainant filed the case demanding a ban on the song immediately, claiming that such songs are likely to fuel sexual harassment and misbehavior against girls at a time when the entire nation was experiencing an unprecedented shame due to the recent gang rape and death of a 23-year-old girl in Delhi. Dabang 2 received mixed to negative reviews from critics in India and highly negative reviews from critics overseas. Taran Adarsh of Bollywood Hungama gave the film 4 out of 5 stars and said Dabang 2 has Salman Khan and Salman Khan plus entertainment, entertainment and entertainment in large doses. Resham Sengar of GTV rated the film 3.5 out of 5 stars. Nothing but the actor cum director has kept the standards of the film intact like a pro. So much so that it was hard to believe that a new buy and film making has directed the film. So go on and book your ticket to enjoy the Paisa Vasool film with your friends and family, and don't forget to grab a tub of popcorn. Srijana Mitra Das of the Times of India gave the film 3.5 out of 5 stars and praised the overall style. Midday gave it 3 out of 5 stars and said the film was a treat of die-hard Salman Khan fans. Rubina Khan of First Post India gave the film 3 out of 5 stars and said it didn't matter what score she gave the film, it would still do great business. Filmfare stated Dabang 2 is a fanboy's dream and wouldn't disappoint the first comer either. Saibal Chatterjee of NDTV gave the film a score 2.5 out of 5 stars, reviewing this film might also end up ranking in a much larger box office booty than Dabang did, but assessed strictly as a pure entertainer designed for instant mass gratification. It isn't half as successful. Unfortunately, the Dabang 2 screenplay is devoid of any fresh ideas. Gaurav Malani, also from the Times of India, gave the film a mixed review and recommended skipping it by watching reruns of Dabang on television. Raja Sen of Rediff gave it 2.5 out of 5 stars and felt Dabang 2 was less unwatchable than its predecessor, and it had absolutely nothing new to offer and nothing to remember, quote, or take away from the theater. The Indian Express rated the film 2.5 out of 5 stars and said Arbaz should have given himself some more time to make the film watchable. Stardust Publishers Manga gave the film 2.5 out of 5 stars, also calling it a one-time watch potboiler. Anupama Chopra of the Hindustan Times gave the film 2.5 out of 5 stars and said Dabang 2 does not match the jing of the original, and there wasn't one line that stayed with me after the film. Rajiv Masan of CNN-IBN gave the film 2.5 out of 5 stars and stated what the film needed was personality and character. What it's left with is sameness. But that's probably enough for Salman Khan films. Aniruddha Guha, also of DNA India, rated the film 2 out of 5 stars and called it Vanib Dabang. After giving it a 2 out of 5 stars, the Daily Bhaskar panned Dabang 2 by saying you would feel like a moron spending the last day on planet Earth filing your mind and lowering your IQ with rubbish like this. Business of Cinema gave the film 2 out of 5 stars and said it was a copy of the original and offered nothing new. Reuters gave it a negative review and raised objection to the content and said the film objectified women in the worst way possible. Sanjukata Sharma from Live Mint, The Wall Street Journal, said Dabang 2 is a disappointment. It had nothing to keep me engaged. IGN gave the film 4.5 out of 10 stars and criticized the weak script and direction. Mufaddal Fakhruddin wrote the screenplay and script is majorly lacking, and whatever story it does have is stressed out in a way that it becomes blatantly obvious. There were number of times where I went, why did I just watch this scene? Dabang 2 felt lost. They say not all those who wander are lost, but Dabang 2 actually is Digital Spy gave the film 2 out of 5 stars and objected to the content. Priya Joshi wrote Khan reveals in the shameless display of the narcissism, but there is a little to commend the performance. The dialogue is trite, there is no depth to the characters, and most of the effort has been applied to the elaborate fight sequence with the emphasis on violence and the objectifying of women. It's a step back in time where the women are either dutiful, temple going housewives or cleavage wearing prostitutes. Joshi recommended skipping the film and added instead of watching it, we could use the time perhaps more wisely pondering whether we have enough Brussels for Christmas dinner. Asian review website Vogma rated the film 1.18 out of 5 and criticized all aspects, from direction to performances by the lead Actress. The reviewer broke down the rating of the film and gave 1 out of 5 for direction, 1 out of 5 for the story, 1 out of 5 for lead actress performances, 2 out of 5 for character artists, 2 out of 5 for dialogues, 1 out of 5 for screenplay, 1.5 out of 5 for the music, and 1 out of 5 for lyrics. Simon Abrams of the Village Voice said before they really screw up the film, Dabang 2 creators do a good job of not taking themselves too seriously. Trisha Gupta from First Post internationally said the film was a rehash of Dabang. Instead of giving a review, the New York Daily Times objected to the content of the film, quoting William Nicholas Gomes, a visiting fellow at the University of York. They said Dabang too glorified the practice of torture by police forces and would raise wider public support in favor of torture and ill treatment of prisoners in custody. Dabang 2 was the second highest grosser of the year behind Ek Tha Tiger. It netted rupees 220 million, 3.1 million US dollar on its opening day, the biggest non-holiday opener, beating the previous record held by Rowdy Rathod. On its second day, however, the film witnessed a drop due to excessive screenings and cold weather, but still collected around rupees 180 million rupees, 2.5 million US dollar. The film business grew on Sunday and it's collected rupees 285 million, 4.0 million US dollar, taking the first weekend total to rupees 693 million, 9.7 million US dollar, beating the previous 3-day record set by Khiladi 786. After a successful weekend, the film had a strong Monday, where it made rupees 120 million, 1.7 million US dollar, beating the previous record held by Dabang. Dabang 2 collected around rupees 150 million, 2.1 million US dollar on Tuesday, Christmas Day. Dabang 2 netted around rupees 77.5 million, 1.1 million US dollar on Wednesday. The film collected rupees 60 million, 840,000 US dollars on Thursday, bringing the first week total to rupees 990 million, 40 million US dollar. The film collected rupees 200 million, 2.8 million US dollar in its second weekend, taking the film's collection to rupees 1.19 billion, 17 million US dollar. The film was declared a blockbuster by Box Office India after its first week. Dabang 2 has collected around rupees 320 million, 4.5 million US dollar net in 5 days of its second week as it grossed a huge rupees 80 million, 1.1 million US dollar. Core Plus on Tuesday as it was New Year's Day, taking its total to 1.42 billion, 20 million US dollar. According to Box Office India, the film became the second highest grossing film of 2012 in 13 days. Adding rupees 30 million net on that day. Dabang 2 collected solid figures of rupees 464 million, 6.5 million US dollar net in its second week. After a successful 2 weeks, the film further netted 75.0 million rupees, 1.1 million US dollar in third weekend to make a total of around rupees 1.465 million US dollar, 21 million net. Dabang 2 collected a good figure of rupees 287 million, 4.0 million US dollar in its third week. It netted around rupees 1.78 billion, 25 million US dollar net after the completion of its theatrical run. The final distributor share of the film in India was rupees 940 million, 30 million US dollar. Dabang 2 collected close to 8.5 million US dollars overseas in its opening weekend. The film reached $8 million overseas in 10 days and was declared a super hit by Box Office India. Dabang 2 has taken its overseas total to around 10.25 million dollar in 17 days and has become the third biggest overseas hit of 2012 behind Jab Tak Hai Jaan and Ek Tha Tiger, both of which earned the blockbuster status overseas. Dabang 2 grossed around $11.75 million in its total lifetime. It has been reported that Dabang 3, a sequel, which will be third and last installment in the Dabang film series, starring Salman Khan and Sudeep, was released on 20 December 2019. I don't know why, but Dabang is a 2010 Indian Hindi language action comedy film directed by Abhinav Kashyap and produced by Malika Arora and Arbaz Khan under Arbaz Khan production had Dilip Mehta under Shri Astabinayak Sign Vision Limited. Khan's elder brother Salman Khan stars in the lead role with Sonakshi Sinha in her acting debut. Arbaz, Om Puri, Dimple Kapadia, Vinod Khanna, Anupam Kher, Mahesh Manjrekar and Mahil Gill featuring in supporting roles, while Sonu Sood plays the main antagonist. The film marks the debut of Arbaz as a producer and Kashyap as a director. Malaika Arora appears in the item number Munni Badnaam Hui. Dabang is set in the Indian state of Uttar Pradesh and tells the story of fearless police officer Chulbul Pandey and his troubled relationship with his stepfather and half-brother made with a budget of rupees 300 million and marketed at rupees 120 million. Dabang was shot primarily in the town of Vai in Maharashtra, while other major scenes were shot in the United Arab Emirates. Dabang was released during Eid-ul-Fitr on 10 September 2010 in nearly 2,000 cinemas worldwide. It opened to generally positive reviews and went on to gross rupees 2.19 billion, $47 million worldwide. It is the highest grossing Bollywood film of 2010. Dabang has won several awards: the National Film Award for Best Popular Film, providing wholesome entertainment, and 6 Filmfare Awards, including Best Film and Best Female Debut. Sinha later remade in Tamil as Osthe and in Telugu as Gabbar Singh. The film was followed by 2 sequels, Dabang 2 2012 and Dabang 3 2019. The latter serves as a partial prequel describing a flashback which formed the events of Dabang itself. Chulbul Pandey, a young boy, lives with his younger half-brother Makhanchand Makhi Pandey, stepfather Prajapati Pandey, and mother Naina Devi in Lalganj, Uttar Pradesh. He has a troubled relationship with Prajapati and Makhi. After 21 years, Chulbul becomes a policeman who calls himself Robin Hood. Pandey still lives with his family. Makhi is in love with Nirmala, whose father, Masterji, opposes the relationship. Chulbul falls in love with a girl named Rajjo, whom he meets during a police chase culminating in an encounter. A corrupt political leader named Chedi Singh meets Chulbul and both quickly become enemies. Makhi asks Prajapati to arrange his marriage with Nirmala. Prajapati refuses because he needs money to repay the loans he took to make his factory, and he believes that he can acquire money through his son marrying a rich girl. In desperate need of money, Makhi steals some cash from Chulbul's cupboard and gives the stolen cash to Masterji, hoping that he will permit Makhi to marry Nirmala. Meanwhile, Chulbul meets Rajjo and proposes marriage, which she rejects as she has to take care of her father, Harya, a drunkard. Chulbul comes home to find his mother, Naina Devi, dead. He goes to Prajapati to make peace, as he is the only family left. However, Prajapati refuses and despises him as an outcast. Makhi invites Chulbul to his marriage with Nirmala. Chulbul convinces Harya to marry Rajjo. Harya commits suicide as he knows that Rajjo will not marry anyone while he is alive. Chulbul takes Rajjo to Makhi's exuberant wedding, releasing that Makhi has stolen his money to finance the wedding. Chulbul marries Rajjo in an impromptu ceremony. Masterji feels disgraced and cancels Makhi's wedding with Nirmala. Makhi beats up one of the workers in his factory due to small mishap. The worker goes to the police station with his mother to file a complaint. Chulbul beats up Makhi in public to disgrace him. Chedi takes advantage of the situation and takes Makhi along with Prajapati to the policeman. Prajapati resolves the situation by accepting an apology from Chulbul. Chulbul meets Dayal Sahu, aka Dayal Babu, a local political leader who also dislikes Chedi with his help. Chulbul adulterates Chedi's breweries and wrongly frames him for it. To take revenge, Chedi burns Makhi's factory. Prajapati, shocked, suffers a heart attack and is hospitalized. Makhi goes to Chedi for help. Little knowing that he was the one responsible, Chedi agrees to finance Prajapati's treatment if he delivers a crate of mangoes to Dayal Babu's house. Unbeknownst to Makhi, Chedi has placed a bomb inside the crate, which explodes after he leaves, killing Dayal Babu. Chedi gives Makhi a task to kill Chulbul. Makhi accepts, but ends up confessing it to Chulbul. He reveals to Chulbul that Chedi made him plant the bomb unknowingly. Chulbul forgives him and reconciles with him. During a final confrontation between Chulbul and Chedi, Makhi reveals to Chulbul that it was Chedi who killed Nani. Enraged, Chulbul suffocates Chedi to that death. Later, Chulbul gets Makhi married to Nirmala in the presence of her father, while Rajjo reveals that she is pregnant. Salman Khan grew a moustache after consulting with his brother and prepared his hair to suit his role. For the former, he had to try out nearly 50 styles in a span of 4 months before commencement of the filming. Photo shoots were held to finalize his look. Abhinav Kashyap, in an interview with Bollywood Hangama, revealed that initially he had considered a few others for the role of Chulbul Pandey, but eventually changed his mind and approached Salman. Kashyap had seen Arbaz in Jane Tu Ya Na Jane Na doing a cameo and approached him to be a part of the project. After reading it, he had instantly accepted to produce and star in it. Sonu Sood was selected for playing the lead antagonist. He revealed that his character was that of a youth leader with grey shades. Mahesh Manjrekar was later approached to play the father of Sinha's character, although he had plans to quit acting. In April 2009, Sonakshi Sinha signed for her debut role. Salman had seen her at a function engaging in dancing and offered her the role. Speaking about it, she said that she had lost a weight of 30 kilograms over 2 years to prepare for her character of a village girl by a combination of proper diet and vigorous exercise. She added that she had been observing people and trying to pick up nuances as a step of further preparation. Malaika Arora, who had performed a few item numbers in her career, most notably in Dil Se, was confirmed to do the same in the film. This was the first of its kind in her home production. Dabang's shooting took place primarily in Y and the United Arab Emirates. The shooting commenced in September 2009. Production designer Wasik Khan drew over 100 sketches detailing out every set in the film. The cinematography was performed by Mahesh Limaye. The first schedule began in the town of Y and continued for 45 days, during which Sonu Sood, the main antagonist, fractured his nose. A schedule primarily involving a song shoot was captured in the Khalid bin Al Wahid station in Dubai, making Dabang the first film to be shot there. Some scenes were also filmed at the Emirates Palace Hotel in Abu Dhabi. The film, involving around 5 action sequences, was choreographed by S. Vijayan, who previously served as the stunt director of Wanted, and shoot over 60 days. Later special effects were incorporated into those scenes. The songs were choreographed by Raju Khan and Shabina Khan, while Farah Khan choreographed the item number Munni Badnaam Hui. The shooting was completed in early June 2010 and the film went into post-production. A party was held to commemorate the completion of the shooting and the success of the theatrical promo. It was attended by the main cast and crew. Dabang's theatrical trailer, running for about 2.5 minutes, was released on 23 July 2010. Alongside Priyadarshan's Khatta Meetha, Dabang was described as one of the most anticipated films of the year by the Indian Express. It was reported to have broken pre-release records for hype by cinematics. A filming awareness product originated by Ormax Media. A special screening of film took place at Film City on 6 September 2010. The premiere of Dabang was held in Mumbai on 9 September 2010. The soundtrack album was composed by the music director duo Sajid Wajid and Lalit Pandit, while the lyrics were penned by Faiz Anwar, Lalit Pandit, and Jalis Sherwani. Lalit Pandit wrote the song Munni Badnaam Hui. The album was launched on 6 August 2010 in Delhi. The album contains 5 original songs, 4 remixes, and one of theme song. The audio rights of Dabang were sold for about rupees 19 million, 1.3 million US dollar to T-Series. The track Munni Badnaam Hui is said to be inspired by an old Bhojpuri folk song, Londa Badnaam Hua Nasiba Tere Liye. Director Abhinav Kashyap accepted using the folk song, saying that he, being from Uttar Pradesh, was familiar with the song since childhood, so he suggested the very song to be improvised and rephrased to fit the film's requirement. It was alleged that it was inspired from the Pakistani song Ladka Badnaam Hua from the film Mr. Charlie 1992. Dabang's soundtrack received generally positive reviews from music critics. Joginder Tuteja of Bollywood Hangama gave the album 3 stars and said it delivers what it promised. One expected a masala soundtrack, and this is what one gets with a couple of item songs, sequences, a couple of theme tracks, and two love songs, which are actually the highlight of the film. A soundtrack that had something in store for mass as well as class. Atta Khan of Planet Bollywood gave it rating of 6 out of 10 and called the soundtrack simple, catchy, easy on the ears, and fun. In a 3-star rating, critic Devesh Sharma of Filmfare praised Sajid Wajid's composition and the track Chori Kiya Re Jiya, calling it pleasure to the ears. The album performed well on the charts after its release. The tracks Tere Mast Mast Do Nain and Munni Badnaam were successful and entered the list of top 20 most frequently played songs on radio in India. In August 2010, the track Tere Mast Mast Do Nain reached number 1 on the official Asian download chart in the United Kingdom based on legal downloads in the country. Dabang released worldwide on 10 September 2010, it opened up across 1800 screens in India and around 300 screens overseas. The film was released in 2,300 theaters worldwide. It was also screened in Norway at an international film festival. The film's DVDs and VCDs were launched by the Reliance Big Home Video on 12 October 2010. It was released on YouTube on 28 January 2011 for free viewing to audiences in India. The satellite rights were pre-sold for rupees 100 million, 1.4 million US dollar to callers. The film generally received positive reviews from critics, most of whom praised the performance of Salman Khan in a 4-star review for Koimoi. Komal Natha ensured that the film would be a commercial success. Kaveri Bamzai of India Today gave the film 4 stars while labeling it as one Jandu Bam of a movie. Film critic Aniruddha Guha of Daily News and Analysis called the film slightly mad and terribly entertaining. Matters Paul of The Statesman gave the film 3.5 stars and commented Dabang Alliance itself with viewers frustrated by the non-existence of uncomplicated heroism on screen. In a three-star review for Rediff.com, Abhishek Mande stated, Dabang is not a movie for non-Salman fans, but for those who worship him. It's a film you simply cannot afford to miss. Anupama Chopra of NDTV and Sukanya Venkataraman of Filmfare gave it 3 stars and both praised Khan's performance. Gaurav Malani of India Times was critical towards the film's story, remarking the film doesn't care a damn for coming up with any innovative storyline. Rajiv Masand of CNN IBN penned the film's screenplay, but praised Khan's performance. Sobha D. of the Bangalore Times was critically concluding, let's hand it to Salman, who has pulled off the stunts and pelvic thrusts. Nothing new there, but it is the naughty self-parodying which is so camp, so out there, which delivers the biggest punch. What's left for the guy now? All he needs is a cape, and he can call himself Superman. Munni Badnaam Hui included a brand name, Jandu Balm, in its lyrics, much to the displeasure of Imami, the makers of the brand. A trademark case was settled by the producers and Imami out of court, and Malaika Arora was later chosen to an official advertising campaign promoting Jandu Balm. Activist Rajkumar take filed a case in the Bombay High Court demanding that the deletion of the word Hindustan from the song, claiming that the censor board had not responded to his queries in regard to the defaming lyrics. He found them highly objectionable and unpardonable and labeled the song a mockery for the country, as a girl was indecently dancing in the presence of corrupted officers, which according to him threw bad light on the nation and hurt the patriotic sentiments of every Indian. Before releases, critic and writer Shobha D called for a boycott of Dabang due to Salman's comments on the 2008 Mumbai attacks. She criticized it as arrogance, ignorance, and plain stupidity. This sparked off a fight with the producers via Twitter and continued after her negative review of the film. Anurag Kashyap, brother of Abhinav Kashyap, tweeted, Salman Khan thinks he made my brother's life. Hope he can do the same for his brother Arbaz with Dabang too. This was taken as slamming Salman and resulted in Arbaz retorting back by referring to the commander's attitude instead of gratitude. However, Anurag later apologized for his remarks, which Arbaz accepted. Dabang received accolades in major film award functions in India. Among them, it won the National Film Award for Best Popular Film, providing wholesome entertainment. It was given 6 awards at the 56th Filmfare Awards, including 1 for Best Film, 7 Screen Awards, 9 G-Sign Awards, and 10 IIFA Awards. Dabang opened to rupees 145 million, $2.0 million US dollar net collection in its first day and became the highest opener of all time across India. On the second day, it netted rupees 165 million, 2.3 million US dollar. At the end of its weekend, the film collected the total of rupees 495 million, 6.9 million US dollar. The firm netted rupees 106 million on Monday, 86 million rupees on Tuesday, 70 million rupees on Wednesday, and 60 million rupees on Thursday, taking the total net collection to around 815 million rupees. In its first week of release, it subsequently became the highest opening week net grosser. Dabang netted rupees 62 million on the second Friday, rupees 75 million on Saturday, and rupees 105 million on Sunday, for a rupees 238 million second weekend, a drop of around 50% from the opening weekend. In its second week, the full month rupees 360 million, taking the total net collection to rupees 1.16 billion in 2 weeks, thus becoming the second highest grossing film of all time in 2 weeks. The distributor share of Dabang was declared to be rupees 770 million, the second highest in Bollywood. Dabang collected rupees 160 million during the third week and rupees 60 million in its fourth week, taking the domestic net collection to rupees 1.4 billion. The domestic net collection in 11 weeks was rupees 1.4 billion. It eventually progressed to rupees 1.41 billion. Dabang opened to a positive response in the overseas markets as well. The film's final overseas collection were 6.10 million US dollar. It grossed a total of 4.20 million dollar in the international markets at the end of its second weekend. In the United States, Dabang collected 137 $628,000 from 62 screens in its opening weekend and rupees $1,068 at the end of its second weekend. In the United Arab Emirates, it's collected 3.2 million dirhams in its opening weekend and 1,500 dollars at the end of the second week. The bank collected a total of 5.50 million US dollar, making it the fifth highest grossing in United Arab Emirates with a $2 million gross. In the United Kingdom, it collected 332,000 euros from 41 screens in its opening weekend and 570,000 euros by the end of its second weekend. In Australia, the film collected 126,000 Australian dollars from 14 screens in the opening weekend and 272,000 Australian dollars at the end of its second weekend. In Mauritius and South Africa, it's collected 25,000 US dollar each in its opening weekend. In Fiji, the film collected 20,000 US dollar the opening weekend. In other territories of Europe and Africa, the film collected 1 lakh dollar in its opening weekend. After the release of Dabang, Arbaz Khan announced that he was planning a sequel to it. After the commercial success of the film, Khan reported Dabang 2 may take time to hit the floors, but it is definitely on the cards. He also announced that the main leads, Salman Khan and Sonakshi Sinha, were already cast to reprise their parts in the sequel. Among the new cast members are Prakash Judge, who plays the main antagonist, while Kareena Kapoor performs an item number in the film. Director Abhinav Kashyap opted out of directing the sequel, and therefore Arbaz took over as the film's director. Dabang 2 became one of the highest grossing Bollywood films of all time in India. Dabang was remade in Tamil as Osthay by Dharani, with Silambrasan playing the lead role and Sonu Sood reprising his original role. It was also remade in Telugu as Gabbar Singh starring Pawan Kalyan. Another sequel, Dabang 3, was released on 20 December 2019. It serves both as a prequel to Dabang and a sequel to Dabang 2, taking the story back and forth. Abdul Rashid Salim, Salman Khan. Pronunciations 27 December 1965 is an Indian film actor, producer, occasional singer and television personality. In a film career spanning over 30 years, Khan has received numerous awards, including two National Film Awards as a film producer and two Filmfare Awards for acting. He has a significant following in Asia and the Indian diaspora worldwide, and is cited in the media as one of the most commercial successful actors of both world and Indian cinema. According to the Forbes 2018 list of top paid 100 celebrity entertainers in world, Khan was the highest ranked India with 82nd rank with earnings of 37.7 million US dollars. He is also known as the host of the reality show Big Boss since 2010. The eldest son of screenwriter Salim Khan, Khan began his acting career with a supporting role in Bibi Ho To Aisi (1988), followed by a leading role in Maine Pyar Kiya (1989). Khan continued in Bollywood in the 1990s with roles in several productions, including the romantic drama Hum Aapke Hain Kaun (1994), the action thriller Karan Arjun (1995), the comedy Baby Number 1 (1999) and the family drama Hum Saath Saath Hain (1999). After a brief period of decline in the 2000s, Khan achieved greater stardom in the 2010s by playing the lead role in successful action films like Dabang (2010), Ready (2011), Ek Tha Tiger (2012), Kick (2014), Sultan (2016), and The Tiger Zinda (2017). Forbes included him in their 2015 list of top-paid 100 celebrity entertainers in world. Khan tied with Amitabh Bachchan for number 71 on the list, both with earnings of rupees 33.5 million US dollar. In addition to his acting career, Khan is a television presenter and promotes humanitarian causes through his charity. Being Human Foundation, Khan's off-screen life is marred by controversy and legal troubles. In 2015, he was convicted of culpable homicide for a negligent driving case in which he ran over five people with his car, killing one, but his conviction was set aside on appeal. On 5 April 2018, Khan was convicted on a black buck poaching case and sentenced to 5 years imprisonment. He is currently out on bail while an appeal is being heard. Khan is the eldest son of screenwriter Salim Khan and his first wife Shushila Charak, who later adopted the name Salman Khan. His paternal ancestors were the Alkozai Pashtuns from Afghanistan, who immigrated to Indore, Madhya Pradesh in the mid-1800s. Taf Khan, in his biography of the actor, states that his ancestors belonged to the Okozhai sub-tribe of the Yusufzai Pashtuns from Malkand in the Swat Valley of northwest frontier province in British India, now in Khyber Pakhtunkhwa, Pakistan. His grandfather Abdul Rashid Khan was a Deputy Inspector General of the Indore state who was awarded Diler Jung Award of the Holkar Times. Khan's mother is a Maharashtrian whose father, Baldev Singh Charak, a Dogra Rajput, comes from Jammu Kashmir and whose mother comes from Maharashtra. He has two brothers, Arbaz Khan and Sohil Khan, and two sisters, Alvira Khan Agnihotri, who is married to actor-director Atul Agnihotri, and an adopted sister, Arpita. Salman finished his schooling at St. Stanislaus High School in Bandra, Mumbai, as did his younger brothers Arbaz and Sohil. Previously, he studied at the Scindia School, Gwalior, for a few years along with his younger brother Arbaz. He attended St. Xavier College in Mumbai but dropped out. Khan made his acting debut with the 1988 film "Biwi हो तो ऐसी, which saw him play a supporting roles. He went on to play the leading role in Suraj R. Bharjatya's romantic family drama Maine Pyar Kiya (1989), which became one of the highest-grossing Indian films at the time. It earned him his first nomination for a Best Actor at Filmfare along with a nomination for Best Male Debut at the same ceremony. The latter was awarded to Bharjatya Maine Pyar Kiya, who dubbed in English as When Love Calls, in Spanish as Te Amo, and in Telugu as Prema Pavarola. 1990 saw one film release starring Khan, Baghi, a rebel for love, a box office success, followed by three moderately successful films. In 1991, Pathar Ke Phool, Sanam Bewafa and Kurban. The same year, Khan went on to co-star with Sanjay Dutt and Madhuri Dixit for the romantic drama Sajan. Hum Aapke Hain Kaun and other films. In 1994, Khan appeared in Rajkumar Santoshi's Andaz Apna Apna, co-starring Amir Khan. At the time of its release, the film failed at the box office but has gained a cult status over the years. Later in the year, he collaborated with director Suraj Bharjatya in the romance Hum Aapke Hain Kaun, co-starring Madhuri Dixit during the 1995 award season. The film won three Filmfare Awards for Best Film, Best Director, and Best Actress. It also won the National Award for being the most popular film of the year, earning over Rs 135 billion, 19 million US dollar worldwide. The film became the biggest Bollywood hit of the year. It is one of the films on Box Office India's list of biggest blockbusters ever in Indian cinema. In 2006, it was still the fourth highest ever grossing Bollywood film according to Box Office India. In 1995, he starred in Rakesh Roshan's Karan Arjun alongside Shah Rukh Khan. The two played brothers who are reincarnated after being killed by family enemies. His role of Karan earned him a nomination for the 1995 Filmfare Best Actor award. In 1996, Khan performed in Sanjay Leela Bhansali's directorial debut Khamoshi, the musical. He also appeared in and Raj Kanwar's action hit Jeet. He had two releases in 1997, Judwa and Ozar. The former was a comedy directed by David Dhawan, where he played a dual role of twins separated at birth. Khan worked in five different films. In 1998, his first release being the romantic comedy film Pyar Kiya to Darna Kya opposite Kajol, one of the biggest commercial successes of that year. This was followed by the moderately successful drama Jab Pyar Kisse Se Hota Hai, where Khan played a young man who has to take a child who claims to be his son under his custody. Khan's performance in the film earned favorable critical review. He also had an extended cameo in Karan Johar's directorial debut, Kuch Kuch Hota Hai, for which he earned the second Filmfare Award under the Best Supporting Actor category. In 1999, Khan starred in three films: Hum Saath Saath Hain, We Stand United, Bibi Number One, and Hum Dil De Chuke Sanam, alongside Aishwarya Rai and Ajay Devgn, which earned him another Best Actor nomination at the Filmfare Awards. His performance in the film was reviewed favorably, with Sharmila telecom of Reddit noting, Salman is endearing, he does stand to hand in the dramatic scenes but looks very comfortable doing comedy and those romantic senses. In 2000, Khan appeared in Chori Chori Chupke Chupke, which addressed the issue of surrogate childbirth. In it, Khan played the role of a rich industrialist who hires a surrogate mother after his wife becomes infertile. Sukanya Verma of Reddit wrote that the film had an absurd storyline but also spontaneous performances from the cast, helping to minimize its other flaws. 2002 he starred in the release Hum Tumhare Hain Sanam. Fourth Inam Tharan others said of him, Salman Khan is exceptional in a role that's first fits him to the T. He breathes fire in sequences that demanded uneasiness, but beneath to tough exterior lies a one vulnerable person, and his facet in particular comes to the force in the later reels. His emotional outbursts are splendid. Director Satish Kaushik considered Khan's work in the films to be strong, saying of it, Salman has given a great performance in the film. He is given an intense, unconventional performance. I believe this is the best performance of Salman's career so far. He continued his career with comedies like Mujhse Shaadi Karogi 2004 and No Entry 2005. Khan started 2007 with the ensemble film Salman Is. He appeared in the Hollywood movie Marigold, an adventure in India opposite American actress Ali Larter. The film told the love story of an Indian man and an American woman. Khan hosted the second season of the game show Das Kadam during 2009. According to a 2008 report from Biz Asia UK, the show earned enough target ratings points (TRPS) for Sony Entertainment Televisions to regain its third position in the Indian television ratings. He appeared in Wanted, directed by choreographer turned director Prabhu Deva. The film received mixed reviews. Taran others from Bollywood Hungama rated it 4 out of 5 stars, noting Wanted rides on Salman Khan's star power. He may not be the best actor in town, but in a film like Wanted, in a role that seems like an extension of his personality, you can think of anyone else enacting this role with flourish. Raja Sen from Rediff gave the rating 2 out of 5 and said the writing is both amateurish and crass while the songs are plain hideous. Khan might be having fun, but the fact a film like Wanted underscores as how badly Bollywood needs a breed of younger leading men and how the existing lot need roles that fit. Ma- he appeared in two other films that year, "Main" or "Mrs. Khanna" and "London Dreams". Khan's first release of 2010 was Anil Sharma's film Veer. In his next film, Dabang, Khan played the role of fearless cop with comic effect in the film. The film was noted by the Economic Times as being remarkable for its commercial success, despite having an accent on inanity and complete incoherence in terms of a plot and credibility. The Times also noted industry experts attributed the popularity of the film to Khan's presence, stating that they ascribe its allure to the star charisma of Salman Khan, who has managed to carry off the over-the-top articulation of Chulbul Pandey with unbridled enthusiasm and zeal. Dabang went on to win several awards, including the National Film Award for Best Popular Film. Providing wholesome entertainment, it was later remade in Tamil and Telugu. The film was produced by his brother Arbaz Khan. It was reported by the Hindustan Times that the film opened to full houses across the country. Khan received a Star Screen Award for Best Actor and a Stardust Award for Star of the Year Male for his performance. He was also nominated for his sixth Filmfare Award for Best Actor. Anupama Chopra from NDTV wrote about his performance, "It's the role of a lifetime," and Salman Khan bites into it like a starving man devours a feast. He inhabits it fully, strutting and swaggering and even spoofing himself. Khan's first release of 2011 was Ready. Ready held a record for being the second highest grossing Bollywood film of 2011. He next appeared in Bodyguard, a remake of the 2010 Malayalam film of the same name. The film was not well received by critics, though it becomes India's highest earning film of the year. Khan's first release of 2012 was Ek Tha Tiger, where he starred opposite Katrina Kaif and acted as an Indian spy. The film garnered positive to mixed reaction from critics, whilst opening to extremely strong box office collections. The film marks his first association with Yash Raj films. Khan releases Dabang 2, the sequel of Dabang, in 2012. Under the production of Arbaz Khan, Dabang 2 eventually emerged as a huge financial success, with revenues of 2.5 billion rupees, 35 million US dollar globally. After a 1 year gap, Khan's first release of 2014 was Jaho, which he starred in opposite Daisy Shah. His second release, Kick, a remake of Telugu film, has entered the rupees 2 billion club in India on Eid. He also sang the Hangover song from the movie. Khan's first film of 2015, Bajrangi Bhaijaan, which was released on Eid, received positive reviews from critics and the public and broke several box office records upon release. The film grossing rupees 1.84 billion, 26 million US dollar on its first week, beat the previous record of PK. This was Khan's first and the second Bollywood film after PK to enter the 300 club. The film is currently the second highest grossing Bollywood film in India and worldwide with a collection of over 6 billion. Bajrangi Bhaijaan crossed 300 crore within 20 days of its release and became the second highest grosser to date in India. while its second film, Prem Ratan Dhan Payo, a Diwali release, received mixed reviews from critics and the public and broke several box office records upon release. The film became the ninth consecutive film of Salman Khan to gross over 1 billion. The film grossed rupees 1.73 billion, 27 million US dollar on its first week. As of 25 November, the film collected rupees 2.1 billion rupees. With this, Khan became the only actor to give three back-to-back movies, which collected more than rupees 2 billion 28 million US dollars net domestically. He became the only actor to collect over rupees 5 billion 70 million US dollar domestic net in a single year in India. Khan's first film of 2016, yet again another Eid release, Sultan, directed by Ali Abbas Jafar for Yes Raj Films, received positive reviews from both critics and the public, breaking several box office records. The film opened on an average of 70% audience occupancy and grossed approximately rupees 365 million, 5 million US dollar on its opening day. The film also collected another rupees 74.86, 1.0 US dollar on its first weekend, bringing its total first week collection to an approximate of rupees 2.8 billion, 29 million US dollar. By the end of its second week, the film had grossed an estimated rupees 2.78 billion, 39 million US dollar, and later became the second film of Khan to net over 300 crores. As of 9 August, the film grossed rupees 5.83 billion, 82 million US dollar worldwide. In June 2017, Khan appeared in Tube Light, his third collaboration with Kabir Khan after Ek Tha Tiger and Bajrangi Bhaijaan. The film also starred Khan's real-life brother Sohail Khan. Despite its high expectations, the film failed to maintain a strong run at the box office. Khan's second release of 2017, Tiger Zinda Hai, a sequel to Ek Tha Tiger, grossed rupees 190 crore worldwide in its opening weekend as of 23 January 2018. The film has grossed rupees 5.52 billion, 77 million US dollars worldwide, including rupees 4.28 billion, 60 million US dollars in India, and rupees 1.23 billion, 17 million US dollar overseas. Khan starred in Bharat, that was released on 5 June 2019, and Dabang 3, that was released on 20 December 2019. Meanwhile, Kick 2, which was scheduled to release around Christmas 2019, had been delayed. In 2011, he launched his own production company called SKBH Productions. Salman Khan being Human Productions. Money generated from film productions will be donated to the Being Human organization. The first film made under the banner was the Kids Entertainer Chiller Party, which went on to win three national awards for Best Children's Film, Best Original Screenplay, and Child Artists Award. SKBH Productions' next film will be Shikshancha Acha Gho, a remake directed by Mahesh Manjrekar. In 2014, he launched another production house called SKF Salman Khan Films. The first film released under the banner was the Canadian film Dr. Cabby. The film earned Rs 350,000 on its opening day at the box office. The next films under this banner were Hero, in which he also sang the title song Hero by Nikhil Advani, which starred Aditya Pancholi's son Suraj Pancholi and Sunil Shetty's daughter Athia Shetty, and Basrangi Bhaijaan by Kabir Khan, starring Khan himself with Kareena Kapoor and Nawazuddin Siddiqui. In 2008, Khan hosted Das Ka Dam. The show was extremely popular and was at the number one spot in ratings in India. It garnered an average TVR of 2.81 and peak rating of 4.5, leaving behind Shah Rukh Khan's Kya Aap Panchvi Paas Se Teez Hain with an average rating of 1.27 TVR and a peak rating of 2.3, and Hrithik Roshan's Junoon Kuch Kar Dikhane Ka on NDTV Imagine with an average TVR of 0.76 and peak rating of 1.1, according to reports. The show helped Sony TV regain its third position in the Indian television ratings. He again hosted the show in 2009 and thus won the Best Anchor Award for Ten Das Kadam. In 2008 and 2009 and 2010, Khan hosted Big Boss 4. The show was widely accepted and appreciated due to Khan's hosting, and surpassed the famous hosting of Amitabh Bachchan. The grand finale episode on 8th January 2011 received a TRP of 6.7, which was the highest among the finales of other Indian reality shows such as Kaun Banega Crorepati, Rahul Dulhania Le Jayenge, MasterChef, and Did Little Master. Due to high TRP, Khan gained hosted Big Boss 5 along with Sanjay Dutt in 2011, and because of huge acceptance, he also hosted Big Boss 6 and Big Boss 7 in 2012 and 2013. In 2013, Khan hosted the Star Guild Award for the first time. Khan also hosted Big Boss 8, Big Boss 9, Big Boss 10, Big Boss 11, Big Boss 12, Big Boss 13. Khan was associated as a brand when he had advertised for Campa Cola, Limca soft drink, Hero Honda bikes, and Double Bull shirts. Well before he entered the film industry, even after he became a superstar, he never showed interest in promoting himself as a brand, but he was signed for Thumbs Up in 2002 and continued until its contract was over. Later, Akshay Kumar replaced Khan. Later, he was brand ambassador of the soft drink Mountain Dew, with whom he ended the contract in December 2010. And he has once again promoted Thumbs Up but ended contract soon after. He is now brand ambassador for Pepsi. He has also become the brand ambassador for the travel website Yatra.com, which also made him a shareholder. He is also the face of the History Channel and the new brand ambassador of Suzuki motorcycles. Previously, he endorsed red tape shoes, and now he is endorsing Relaxo Hawaii. Khan is also brand ambassador of detergent brand Wheel. He has also appeared for Chloromint, a brand of gum, with his brother Sohail Khan. The actor has also done a jewelry brand, Sangini with Kareena Kapoor, apart from innerwear brand Dixie Scott and tablet BlackBerry Playbook. Britannia's Ars Tigers Biscuits is the latest endorsement of Salman. He is also the face of Ranbaxy's Revital, replacing Yuvraj Singh. Apart from these brands, he has also Rotmac pen and SF Sonic batteries endorsements. Now Khan has been robbed is as the brand ambassador of Dubai-based fashion label Splash and has been also signed as the brand ambassador for Astral Polytechnic Limited, the leading manufacturer of plumbing and drainage systems in the country. Khan is also the brand ambassador of civic body Bombay Municipal Corporation's (BMC) drive against open defecation in Mumbai and has been also signed by the security and surveillance brand CP Plus as their CCTV ambassador. Khan is now the second ambassador along with Amitabh Bachchan for Imami Healthy and Tasty, Imami Best Choice in Rasoi apart from Bake Magic.